Mike, check. Justin Hunt. It's all happening. Thank you to everybody rocking with the channel. Thank you to everyone subscribing through the channel who shared a video, shared a link, letting people know what we're doing over here. It's priceless. Big thank you to everyone who's donated. If you'd like to donate to this channel, just hit the link up there in the corner or the link in the description. I'm just remixing my own intro here. A big thank you to all my newest members. Pete, DJ Nasla, Catrice Arrow, and my man, Joey McCashlin. Joey McCashlin always holding me down. 9-second applause to you all. Thank you. But big news for JayZ. Big news for Hov. His R case stemming from a lawsuit filed against him by an accuser represented by Tony Busby, claiming that he R'd her after a VMA's after party in the year 2000. Very famous case. We've talked about it here on this channel. That case has been dismissed. 1-second applause. The news broke yesterday. So here's the filing. It's very brief. It says, pursuant to Rule 441 AIAI of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above captioned action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Counsel for plaintiff have discussed this matter with counsel for each defendant who acknowledged and consent to this submission. So that was the legal filing there. For people who want a little more context, I pulled this video here from Law and Crime. It's a couple of minutes, and they walk through what this means and how this happened. So let's take a look.
Breaking news. The sexual assault case against hip-hop moguls P. Diddy and JayZ has been permanently dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled.
Permanently dismissed and cannot be filed again. 1-second applause. Now, this is a win. This is a win, big win for JayZ, and it's also a win for Diddy, because he was also named in this case. I mean, the details of this case were wild. The accusation was that a girl who claimed to be 13 years old traveled from Buffalo, New York to Midtown Manhattan to Radio City Music Hall where the VMAs were taking place. She had a cousin, if I'm not mistaken, who drove her from Buffalo and just dropped her off at the VMAs. She walked around to different limousines trying to get into the awards show. She said that she met Diddy's limo driver, who said meet him after the event. He took her to a house outside the city, a big white house with a circular driveway, where she was allegedly drugged and then R'd by JayZ and Diddy and a third unnamed woman at that party. Now, it sounds crazy because a 13-year-old from Buffalo was making these accusations. So JayZ was staunch and vigilant in his innocence and really called out all the fallacies of this case. So that was how we got here. Let's see how Law and Crime continues to describe it.
This is a significant update regarding a major civil lawsuit involving Jane Doe, who previously accused hip-hop moguls P. Diddy and JayZ of raping her at a party when she was just 13 years old. The news broke on Friday evening when court documents were obtained, revealing that the case has been dismissed with prejudice. The legal filing, which is straightforward, states that the plaintiff, Jane Doe, through her legal counsel, voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit. According to the documents, the notice reads, pursuant to Rule 41A1AI of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above captioned action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. The filing also confirms that the legal teams for both defendants, Diddy and JayZ, acknowledged and consented to the dismissal. However, the documents do not provide further details, such as whether the case was settled outside of court or if Jane Doe felt there was insufficient evidence to proceed. Given the dismissal with prejudice, this means Jane Doe is barred from bringing the same allegations in a future lawsuit against the defendants, permanently closing the case.
So that's huge. So truthfully, we don't know if it was settled out of court. We don't know the details of how we got to this point. All we know is that these charges can never be filed again. Can never be filed again.
Filed last year, Jane Doe alleged she was raped by both Diddy and JayZ at a 2000 DMA's afterparty when she was just 13 years old, making serious accusations against both. This case just keeps getting crazier when you hear all the details. I mean, 13 years old, it's hard to process. One major detail that stands out in this whole story is that Jane Doe claimed her father came to pick her up after the alleged incident. She said she ran out of the house, down to a gas station, and called her father, who then picked her up and drove her back to Buffalo. However, when her father was asked about this, he reportedly didn't remember anything about it. This inconsistency raises even more questions about the whole situation, and it has made the case even more complicated. This whole case is full of shocking accusations and twists. But in the end, it's a big win for both Diddy and JayZ, with the charges against them being dropped. The civil suit was dismissed, and the allegations will never be filed again. JayZ released a statement after the ruling, calling it a victory. He described the accusations as frivolous, fictitious, and appalling, and he made it clear that the lawsuit never had any merit. He also pointed out that the narrative created around him was laughable, though he acknowledged the seriousness of the claims. JayZ took the opportunity to speak out about the toll the case took on him and his family, mentioning the trauma that he, his wife, children, and loved ones had to endure. He expressed that this experience was something he wouldn't wish on anyone. JayZ called out the lawyer behind the lawsuit, who, in his words, hid behind Jane Doe in an attempt to make a financial gain from false allegations. He pointed out that once the lawsuit became clear it wouldn't lead to any payout, the lawyer and the accuser were able to walk away with no consequences. In his statement, JayZ said the legal system had failed in this case and urged that courts must protect both victims and innocent people from false accusations. JayZ's lawyer, Alex Spiro, also issued a statement, reinforcing that the case against JayZ should never have been brought to court in the first place. Spiro applauded JayZ for standing firm and for not settling, paying a single penny, or backing down. He described JayZ's approach as one that showed strength and allowed him to clear his name. Spiro emphasized that JayZ triumphed in the face of false and serious accusations, sending a powerful message about standing up against injustice. From everything JayZ and his legal team have said, it seems clear that no money was involved in any sort of settlement. The case has been dismissed with prejudice, meaning it can't be brought up again. So this chapter seems to be closed for JayZ. It's an important victory for him, both in terms of his reputation and the principle of standing up against false claims. Aside from the legal victory, JayZ has also had a pretty incredible week in his career. The Recording Academy announced that JayZ will be inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2025, thanks to his debut album Reasonable Doubt. The announcement, made on February 13th, revealed that JayZ is one of the 8 albums and 5 singles to be inducted this year. His album Reasonable Doubt, released in 1996, is considered one of the most influential albums in hip-hop history. This recognition is a huge milestone in JayZ's career, as it solidifies his lasting impact on music culture. JayZ is the only hip-hop artist being inducted this year, and he joins a remarkable group of artists, including Luther Vandross, whose 1981 album Never Too Much will also be inducted. Santana's 1999 album Supernatural will be included, too, which is considered another classic. That album, in particular, was a game-changer for Santana's career, and it was all over the airwaves in the late 90s. The Grammy Hall of Fame Gala will be held in Los Angeles on May 16th, where these artists and their albums will be celebrated. The induction into the Grammy Hall of Fame is just another achievement for JayZ in a year that has already been filled with major accomplishments. His career continues to skyrocket, and this recognition proves his influence extends far beyond hip-hop. Reasonable Doubt changed the game and is now cemented in history. It's a significant win for JayZ, and it speaks volumes about how far his career has come. To make things even more interesting, Beyoncé, his wife, just won Album of the Year at the Grammys, adding another impressive feather to the couple's collective cap. It's been a great week for the Carters all around. The Grammy wins, along with JayZ's legal victory, make this a strong start to 2025. The couple continues to be at the forefront of the music industry, constantly setting the bar higher. However, while JayZ is moving forward, Diddy's situation remains much more complicated. He's still facing a series of civil lawsuits and federal sex trafficking charges, which means the spotlight is still on him. It's going to be a long road for Diddy before we know the outcome of his cases, but JayZ's case being dismissed is definitely a win, and it's clear that his legal team has set a powerful example of how to fight back against false accusations. In a broader sense, this situation highlights the importance of standing up for yourself, fighting for justice, and not letting baseless accusations define your life. JayZ's legal win sets a strong precedent for anyone who's been wrongfully accused and is willing to take the necessary steps to clear their name. While JayZ's story has had a somewhat happy ending, Diddy's ongoing legal battles will continue to make headlines, and the public will be watching closely to see how his story unfolds. JayZ, on the other hand, seems poised to enjoy the fruits of his hard work, both legally and professionally, with 2025 shaping up to be another incredible year for the mogul. It's clear that JayZ's resilience has paid off. With a legal battle behind him and his music career as strong as ever, he's positioned to continue his reign as one of the greatest artists of all time. The road ahead will be interesting to watch, especially as we closely monitor the ongoing saga surrounding Diddy.